Next, we are going to include chart.js in our project. And to do that, first I have to take a look at the official documentation of chart.js. And under the installation link, I can see that I can either install chart.js with npm bower, or just link it using CDNs. Because the way that the Django project is set up, it's difficult for you to use npm package manager. So what I would suggest is just to copy the link provided by CDNs and link it in your HTML page. And also notice that there are two versions. One is standalone, one is bundled, and it just says that chart.js will use moment.js. So if you want to do a standalone, you have to somehow import moment.js by yourself. But there's another version called bundle build, and which we can use, and it's the moment.js is already included. So this is the one that I'm going to use. So this is the link for the CDNs. So remember, we are going to use the bundle version, and I probably need to link the CSS as well. So I'm going to use both JS and CSS CDNs link in my HTML page. And for that, I don't need to include those in my base.html file, because all the pages that extend this base HTML will also get reference to chart.js CDNs references, and I probably don't need those. So I'm only going to link the CDNs in my new HTML page. And also I would need a reference for jQuery, because I'm going to do some async functions. Okay. Let's see if the link is successful. So to check if there is any error in your HTML page, particularly with references, you can turn on your console log and just go to our link. Currently it doesn't show anything here, so that's probably a good thing. Next, I'm going to create a div tag to host my pie chart. So first I need a button to trigger the pie chart loading. Load charts dash button. Okay, load charts. We need to use the canvas tag, and this is actually suggested by the official documentation here. Well, actually I'm just doing the first chart. This should be the simplest one, but the other ones should be fairly similar. And so for the purpose of demo, I'm going to do this one. So I need a canvas to host the pie chart. All right. Let's go to the website again. Open our page. So the button shows here, but there's nothing for the pie chart. And if we want to do a really quick demo, we can just copy all of this and include those. Well, I'm missing the script tag. Okay, let's go back to our website, refresh again. So it actually works. So it means our link to the CDNs and CSS and all the stuff works. So if you analyze a little bit of the structure of this chart object, the data, there are two data. One's labels, which is the x-axis, and the other one is data, and this should be the y-axis. So if we take a look at that, you will verify this. So let me get rid of all of this. And we are going to create a new JS file, and we are going to call it load chart. So to reference our custom JS file, it has to be done this way in Django. All right, it is a little bit difficult syntax here. JS load charts.js. Okay, I hope I do it correctly. To test that, we can just add a new JS file here, chart.js. Okay, and turn on our project and see if it works. Okay, next let's do some JavaScript here. First, I have to query the button of that page to trigger loading the pie chart. And also we need a reference for the canvas. And this is the code that actually copied from the documentation of chart.js. It's right here. Okay. So next we need to code the onClick event when we click on the button. So again, I'm going to just give a hard-coded employee ID. Since I provided a hard-coded employee ID here, I can actually get that as a variable in our views. So under the fetch attendance data functional view, can actually get our employee ID this way. So it will be provided under the get methods, and the other code stay the same. So let's take a look of what we have so far. Console log of an URL, and it belongs to the 10th line of load chart.js file, which is the one right here. So far so good. Next is where we build our pie chart, attendance chart. All right. So I actually do that in another function. and this is actually an async function. Build attendance charts, and we only need a parameter of URL. So first, let's define some variable, and I'm going to use the Ajax function, and this is actually jQuery here. Ajax and these are just some settings for the query. And before we go any further, let's do another console log here. Row data. Alright, as you can see from here, actually the arrow is from the Django parts, not from the JavaScript parts. And it says that type decimal is not JSON serializable. And if we go back to see our model, we can see that the field days of attendance is actually a decimal field, and somehow it is not serializable. So we need the little fix here, and just to turn our data into something other than decimal fields. So I'm actually going to do that in our manager's methods here. So remember, when we build our data, the dictionary one, we'd actually do some looping here. So I can simply turn the decimal data type into a float. Alright, let's see if it works. Load again. So we get our data here. But we still cannot use that. We have to turn that into a JavaScript object so that it's easier. So to do that, we need JSON parse. JSON.parse, and we are going to parse the raw data, and it will turn a JSON formatted file into a JavaScript object. So let's do another quick look. As you can see, the above data is like a JSON formatted, and the bottom one is actually a JavaScript object. The last thing that we need to do is just pass in the data in our pie chart, and then we're done. So we can actually copy all of the code here, except for the first line. Right. And remember, the data goes to labels and data. And this one is our month. And this one will be our attendance. So let's also give the label a name. Let's call days of attendance. Go back to our page, refresh, and load again. Alright, we have it. There's one final note I would like to make in the end of the demo. So in your project, if you need to create a lot of user interactivities in the website, you would probably find yourself doing a lot more JavaScript. Because in a normal Django project setup, the more JavaScript you do, the harder you will find it to manage all those JavaScript files. And also you would miss out all the benefits that popular JavaScript tools such as npm provides. So there might be the point where you start to think if you want to break your website into backend and frontend. So that would conclude my demo. Feel free to drop me the notes if you need me to clarify anything. And I have attached the link to my source code for this demo. And have fun.